This is Beyond Borders, the Immigration Evaluation Podcast, where you'll learn how to confidently conduct evaluations, connect with attorneys to gain referrals, and create a thriving practice. I'm Dr. Mariella Shibley, and I am here to help you turn your expertise into impact. Let's get started. I want to share a story with you today, something that really stuck with me. I recently had a one-on-one consultation with someone who took my immigration evaluation training about a year ago. And during our chat, she opened up about how burned out she'd been before shifting into this work. And as she described it, I could feel the weight of what she was saying, like that deep kind of exhaustion that creeps in when you're seeing therapy clients back to back, week after week, the kind that doesn't go away with a weekend off. She said to me, for some people, therapy really is their true calling. But for me, it just got heavy fast. And I get that. It is heavy work. Sitting with pain session after session. Sometimes you're witnessing real trauma, real grief. And other times, let's be honest, it's just the same conversation on repeat. You're listening, you're holding space, but you're also thinking, what are we actually doing here? And I think a lot of us get to that point at some point or another, when the work that once felt so meaningful starts to feel heavy in a way that's no longer sustainable. Not because we don't care, but because we care so much. So back to her talk, she told me, I still wanted to help people. I just didn't want to do it in this way anymore. I wanted to maintain my income, but I couldn't keep doing this week after week. I needed something different, something lighter, something more flexible. And that's when she started looking into other options, and eventually she did my training. And now she's telling me she does 2 immigration evaluations a week. That's it, just 2. And when you really look at the numbers, the income that she makes from those 2 evaluations is about the same as what she used to make seeing 20 weekly therapy clients. But what's so striking is the difference in what it costs her. Her time, her energy, her presence. She spends maybe 2 hours face-to-face with a client. And then the rest of the time, she's at home writing. So she's not dealing with rush hour traffic, no back-to-back sessions, no emotional whiplash from holding space from one client's trauma and then shifting gears for the next. And then she told me something that honestly made me pause because it sounded kind of dreamy. She said, so I just remodeled my backyard and I sit out there now with my iced tea on this cozy outdoor couch and I write my reports. And then I thought, wow, that's a version of this work that we don't talk about enough. The version that's not about hustle or burnout, but about ease, about flow. There was something so peaceful about that image, her outside in the sun, writing with her laptop on her lap and her dog curled up nearby. Well, I'm embellishing it a little bit. I don't know if she actually has a dog. But anyway, that image, it stayed with me, because it reminded me of something that I hadn't even fully put into words before. And that's that this work doesn't just offer meaning and impact, it offers space, breathing room, a softer, slower way to still show up for others without constantly depleting yourself. So she's no longer paying for a full-time office space, and instead she's just subleasing a few hours a week from a colleague. And that's just enough to do her face-to-face interviews, and that's it. And a lot of people don't even do this face-to-face. They do Zoom, so they don't even sublease offices. They work from home. But we're talking about this case. And so she's telling me how her overhead dropped dramatically. She's not paying rent for an office. She's not scrambling to fill her schedule just to cover her expenses. And of course, as her overhead went down, then naturally she's earning more. She told me she feels lighter now. Not just financially, but also emotionally. She doesn't wake up with that dread of back-to-back clients or the guilt of rescheduling because, life happens. She works fewer hours with more intention, and her income hasn't changed, or it's actually gotten better. But her lifestyle, that part is completely different. Need extra support? My expert training in immigration evaluations is a comprehensive training program that teaches you to master all of the different types of psychological evaluations and how to confidently write reports that have attorney referrals lining up out your door. Now, I'm not saying that seeing 20 or 30 clients a week is wrong or that working full time is somehow bad. Absolutely not. Some people thrive in that rhythm. And honestly, I'm super busy too. But I love what I do because I've structured it in a way that keeps me energized. For me, it's the variety. On any given day, I might see an analytic patient, then a couple of weekly therapy clients to do an immigration evaluation. I might supervise someone for an hour. I might squeeze in a one-on-one consultation. And then oftentimes I'll just cap it all off with coffee and catch up with a colleague. And that's a full, rich day for me. And I like the movement, the stimulation, the mix of deep clinical work and collaboration. And I have a good balance that works for me. But reality is, we're not always in that kind of phase. Sometimes we've just had a baby, and being out of the house all day just isn't realistic. Or we're not feeling well, physically or emotionally, and we need more rest. Or life throws us something unexpected, like an ill family member that we suddenly need to take care of, or a move, or any shift in priorities. And when that happens, the way we work has to shift as well. Maybe not forever, but even just temporarily, we need this space to recalibrate. And that's what I love about this kind of work. It can meet you where you are without asking you to sacrifice your impact or your income. So I just thought that was helpful to share with others who are perhaps feeling either a little burnt out or feeling the need to diversify their practice and perhaps see less patients for a week, but maintain their income. So if you're feeling burnt out, if you're a new parent and the idea of being away from your baby several hours a week just doesn't sit right, if you're navigating a chronic health condition or you simply just don't have the energy for traditional work hours anymore, or if you're in that pre-retirement phase, starting to scale back, but you still need a reliable stream of income, then this kind of work might be the right fit for you right now. You're still using your clinical skills, you're still holding space, you're asking the right questions, you're connecting with people in a way that matters, but you're doing it in a way that's sustainable, a way that leaves room for your own life and your own needs. And going back to my chat with my one-on-one consultant, here's another thing that I realized after that conversation. She's only doing 2 evaluations a week now, and on paper that might sound like less impact compared to seeing a full therapy caseload. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, well, she might actually be helping more people now. Because with every evaluation, there's this ripple effect. Because you're not just helping one individual, you're often helping their spouse, their children, their entire family unit. One report might mean that a parent gets to stay in the US with their kids, or that a survivor of violence can finally feel safe and start over, or that a couple can stay together instead of being forced apart. So yeah, it's fewer clients, but the depth and the reach of that work is powerful. It's life-changing. So if you've been craving something different, something calmer, more flexible, more sustainable, this might be it. You don't have to grind yourself down to make a living. You don't have to stay stuck in a model that doesn't work for you anymore. You can work less and you can make more, and maybe welcome a shift in pace. So if you're listening to this thinking, wow, this is exactly what I've been looking for, I want to invite you to join my next 12-week expert training in immigration evaluations. And this program is designed to take you from curious or burned out to confident and in demand. In this training, we cover everything from the legal context to clinical interviewing, writing strong professional reports, working with attorneys, working with interpreters, how to get referrals and build your practice. And it's not just technical skills, it's the business side too. So you can actually get paid for this work and create the kind of lifestyle that we just talked about. It's perfect for clinicians who want to work less and earn more, for new parents, for people managing health challenges, or anyone transitioning to a new phase of their career like retirement or part-time practice or just a new chapter. And you won't be doing it alone. You'll be joining a community of mission-driven professionals who care deeply about the work and about doing it well. So if that sounds like something that you want to be part of, keep your eyes open. or hop on my email list so you don't miss the exact date when the doors open. So until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, you deserve a career that supports the life that you want. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if this episode helped you, share it with a friend. See you in the next episode.